3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 246 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with a very special guest. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, I'm St. James Jackson. I am the special guest. Some people call me Black Jesus. Some people call me the Chicago Saint. I am in the building. 246 is a good number. I wouldn't mind 245, but I take 246.
I'm glad to hear you say that because, you know, I think 246 is really good. Like, I really do think about that kind of thing. And, like, I like to tell people their numbers. Like, 420 is a really exciting one. When somebody got 69, that was really exciting. Like, the numbers matter. I really think they do.
They do.
250's coming up, and it's kind of a mystery. Like, who's going to get it? It's like the lottery. I don't like to plan it out either. I like to just kind of let the cards fall.
I kind of vibe with that. That way you don't overthink it, and it can be like I've been on some hippie shit recently. I've been like one with the universe. So I like the fact you're just letting it like flow and ease into stuff.
That's the way to do it, I think. Because like if you overplan it, you kind of just you end up guiding things too much, and I think you miss a certain amount of magic if you overplan things. Yeah. Sometimes things just fall into place. Like I wouldn't even want to film 250 out of order just so somebody gets 250. It has to be whoever is 250 is 250. That's just the way it is.
I agree.
But 246 is great because 246. It's even numbers.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
Awesome. Dude, that's a really good one. Like angel numbers are obviously like really good. 222, 333, 444. Like those are special numbers. But like 246 is nice because 246. I mean, it's like a sequence of numbers that makes sense.
Multiplication.
369 is going to be the next one. God numbers.
Wow. If you get to 369,
booyaka.
369. Shout out to Rey Mysterio. Shout out to the GOAT. Oh man. If you get the 369, so what have you learned so far doing this podcast?
What have I learned? That's a good question.
Has it made you a better person?
I would say yeah, but I would say that just being curious and talking to people in general, it was like doing this podcast, I really just try to talk to people in the way that I would talk to people anyway, but it's given me an opportunity to do that in like a very interesting context. So I would say I've learned a lot and it has broadened my horizons. But like, I don't know, it's a hard question to answer. Like, has this made me a better person? I think the way that I view life it guides me in the right direction to being a good person. And the podcast falls into that. It's just a thing that I feel like one time I had like a revelation where I thought like my purpose in life is to shine my light on other people. And I just try to do that all the time. And I think that's what makes me a good person is following that purpose. Like having a purpose that's defined by other people in a sense and following that.
I love that. I mean, you could donate your time to charity, but this is good as well. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I think what's cool is it really does shine a light on other people. Like doing a podcast in this way where it's guest oriented and it's really not about me, it's about other people. I think that's cool. And it builds community in a way that sets an example for other people.
That's actually beautiful. I was mocking you. I was messing with you.
I don't care.
You're like, no, I'm going to defend it. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm messing with you. I can assume I can cuss on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Be very funny. Like, actually, no, this is for the charity. I'm like,
yeah.
Let me put these jokes I had away. Push them down.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if I said it was like, well, at the very end, what I always do say is that it's for 3 to 5 year olds. So like to give advice for children, like I always have people give their advice for children at the end. But I do think it's a funny thing to say after like an hour of podcasts where we just like cussed and said like terrible things. By the way, my core audience is 3 to 5 year olds giving advice to the kids.
Booty, dick, and pussy, booty, dick, and pussy, booty, dick, and pussy.
Exactly.
Never go around with booty, dick, and pussy.
Listen, I want kids to understand what the world's really going to be like.
You know what? Just teach them the right way. Let's start at the beginning.
You got to be real with them. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's stop censoring ourselves for the children. Let's just be real 100%. Kids know what you're talking about. They're smart, all right? They're smart. They know what you're saying.
Yeah, let it out. We got to let it out. We got to live in a society that's just like, we shoot.
Well,
shoot
also,
from the hip.
Like when I was a kid, I remember like at 11 p.m., that's when like you could say swear words on TV. And it's like, all I got to do is stay up late to see this. Like, I know it exists.
That's so funny. I remember being a kid and the only thing I cared about is I don't know if you had this, but we had the Girls Gone Wild commercials. This is before porn was like all over your phone. This is when you had like back when like seeing the concept of possibly seeing a nipple got me hard. You know, you remember them days where like you were so sensitive, like oh my God, her shirt might come off him. Like, I guess now these days we're also...
It's too easy.
Yeah, it's way too easy.
It's too easy.
I don't want to project, but it's like it's so easy now. I'm just talking about...
I remember when a magazine meant something.
Right.
You know? That's true. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because it is... That's why I think it's too easy. Like, I think it used to be like something you would like... It was like a far away myth that you had to find. Once you found it, it was crazy.
And now it's also like... It feels like... It's like weed. I remember like... I'm like my generation. I got the last end of like being a kid and smoking weed was like a bad thing. You can do and like actually affect your life in a bad. I'm not even that old, but I'm old enough where cause I smoked a lot of weed in high school and I was doing something that people thought was like, dude, are you like skipping class to smoke weed? Now it's like, bro, people like, yeah, I come to class high and the teacher's like, I'm high too. Like it's just like a different time.
Yeah.
And I guess my point to that was. The drugs are so strong. I was smoking weed, like I'm doing dry January, so I start off sober every year. But I was smoking weed before the end of the year with my little cousins. These guys are like 22. I'm going on 30. They're in college. I've been there before. I'm smoking weed with them. I'm in their car, and they're like smoking blunts. I'm like, bro, I've been there before. But it's like 1 blunt, right? 2 blunts, right? 3 blunts. I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ. 4 blunts. By the end of it, bro, I'm like, bro, you could have told me they gave me crack and I would believe you. I was so uncomfortably high. I'm like, bro, why is these drugs so strong?
Yeah.
That was the most old man take I could give you. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. So, okay, I have a friend who he wanted... I was going to Michigan and I was going to get weed. And so he was saying like he doesn't want me to get anything for him unless it's 40%. Like 40%. Because that's what he goes and buys at the store. And like 40% is a crazy number.
Seems pretty crazy, yeah.
That's crazy. That's like the stuff you get in those little jars and it's like designer weed and it's 40%.
Designer weed.
Keef on it. Like they sprinkle... It's like... I remember when Moon Rock was the only thing like that, where it was like, what is Moon Rock? Moon Rock is like, I don't even know, it's layers. It's like a 5-layer cake of marijuana. It's like wax and they sprinkle keef, and then there's other things that I'm not even going to remember.
I like the concept of design. I like the concept. See, that's another thing. These kids get to like go out and buy their weed. Could you imagine some dude coming off the streets to sell you weed like, yeah, bro, I got the designer Gucci weed.
That's
like,
what it is.
Yeah, like what?
Like if you're only going to get the 40%, 50%, that's not even real weed. I'm telling you, that doesn't exist. They don't make that.
Yes, that's artificial weed to the face. But I was hanging out with my cousin, and I told you the one time we were smoking a couple blunts. There was one time they just passed me 1 blunt. I hit it. I was like, I think I'm high up my mind already. It was one hit. I'm like, I think I'm high up my freaking mind already. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so what happened to me yesterday is I was with that friend and he got 4 joints. Like his plan was he was going to smoke 4 joints with me, which I was excited because I haven't really been smoking very much lately. So I'm like, okay, this is exciting. I'm gonna stick with you. But like, dude, about 2 joints in, 3 joints in, I was like, I was so high. I couldn't believe the rate at which I was smoking the joints. And then when I saw the movie, because we were going to see a movie, oh, dude, it's like this experience. And I don't know if this is just me. I hope somebody else has this and I'm not just crazy, but it's like highway hypnosis at the movie theater for me, where like if I'm at the movies and I'm in a certain state, dude, I'll just start to like fall asleep. It doesn't even have to be a bad movie. I will just fall asleep. It lulls me to bed. Like I'll be like trying. It's like when you're in class in school and you're like, you haven't slept well and you're just sitting there and you're doing this where you're just like, your eyes keep dozing off. It's like where I can't even prevent it. So that's what happened to me yesterday. And it could have just been that I smoked 3 joints and walked into the movie theater.
The weed probably didn't help. Yeah,
this time.
I definitely have had that for sure. What movie did you go see?
Is This Thing On, the Bradley Cooper movie. And it wasn't necessarily bad. I would give it a 6 out of 10, a 3 out of 5. But the problem is I was kind of dozing in and out, so I don't know if my rating is accurate.
Did you see Marty Supreme?
Oh, 10 out of 10. That movie was so good.
That's a good movie.
I saw that. I was amazed. Now, why was I amazed? I mean, what was so incredible about Marty Supreme? What was this movie so great for? Why did I like it so much? Well, I'll tell you one reason right here, right now, and it's because the movie reminded me about what you are capable of if you try your very hardest to succeed. The sacrifice it takes and the type of personality it takes in order to achieve greatness. And I don't think most of us have it in us. I'd like to think I have it in me, and I'd like to think I bring people to you who have it in them with this show. So help me achieve greatness. Help me pursue what it is to be the best. Because I want this show to be the best, the greatest podcast, the Marty Supreme of podcasting. And the only way that's possible is with your help and your support on Patreon. All right, Patreon's the best way to support the show. $5 a month, the price of a coffee, the price of a beer at the bar, and you help this show grow. You help us become bigger and better than we've ever been. Because I want this to be the biggest and bestest, the Marty Supreme of podcasting. So help us achieve that, please. And there's perks. There's perks to this. It goes beyond just supporting the show. One, you get Patreon exclusive conversations that are only going to be on that Patreon, some podcast content. Two, you get to hear my music early before anybody else ever hears it. Three, you get to hear songs that no one else is ever going to hear, Patreon exclusive music. And four, you get your name on the screen right here, right now, and at the end of every single podcast episode. So you get all those perks, all those amazing, wonderful things come along with just the joy of supporting this show and helping this show become the greatest podcast of all time, which we kind of already are. All right, it takes a village, folks, and that's what I'm trying to build, and I hope you can become a part of it through something like Patreon. You can't support on there. That's totally fine. I understand. Just drop a comment on here. Just smash that subscribe button. There's things you can do for free right now that help me and help me understand the difference that I'm really making here in this world. Now let's get back to the awesomeness that was Marty Supreme. Because the thing is, I didn't see The Smashing Machine, but I saw all of their other movies except their first one, the Safdie brothers, because they just broke up and now they're making their different movies. Okay. So the guy who made Marty Supreme is different. It's the one brother, and the other brother made The Smashing Machine, which is the one with The Rock. But that movie, I heard, didn't do as well. You didn't see that one, you're saying?
Did not see it.
Yeah, and so I was worried because that movie didn't do as well, so I was thinking, oh, maybe Marty Supreme's not going to be as good as Uncut Gems, and because Uncut Gems, I would also say 10 out of 10, so really good. And also, what's so cool about Uncut Gems is it's inspired by Punch Drunk Love. It was the first time, Punch Drunk Love was the first time any director had used Adam Sandler in that way. Like, let's make him a serious, dramatic actor. And Paul Thomas Anderson's one of my favorite directors. You've seen Punch Drunk Love, I presume? It's a good movie. I actually
think I have not seen it. Maybe I've seen it years ago.
2003 is when it came out.
I have to be reminded.
It's an Adam Sandler movie. It's like he's in love with this girl, and the girl, I mean, it's kind of, if you don't remember it, you probably haven't seen it, but I'll show you what the cover art looks like. That's probably the best thing I could do. But it's got it's made by Paul Thomas Anderson. It was right after he made Boogie Nights. I've
also not seen Boogie Nights. I know Boogie Nights is a good movie.
Really good, yeah.
I got a couple movies I got to lock in on.
All right, so Punch Drunk Love, 2002. So it's maybe that picture.
Oh, I have not seen it.
Maybe that. That's one most people have seen. Probably this one here, that picture there. But yeah. You haven't seen it, and it's a really good movie. But anyway, that was like the first time a director had ever done that, and where they had taken Adam Sandler and put him in that position. Because again, like Paul Thomas Anderson, he made Magnolia before this. He made a bunch of like really big movies. He's a really good director, like an artsy director in a way, like an auteur director who has his own vision, and he's doing all these big things. And so it was just the fact that he can even pin Adam Sandler for that role and know that he's perfect for that. And that's what they saw in Adam Sandler when they made Uncut Gems, is they saw him do that. And there's like a certain, I think he's kind of playing himself in all of those roles, which is what's kind of funny about it. Like, he's not that great of an actor. It's just that they're really good directors.
I watched that. That's so funny. I watched that and was like, holy crap, I didn't even know Adam Sandler had this into him. But have you heard this? Like, they said comedy is right next to drama because the same, for lack of a better term, it's the same type of magic trick of you're building all this suspense to relieve it. That's a lot of comedy.
I've never heard that comparison.
Yeah, people say, like, if you could do comedy at a high level, you can also do drama because you're doing the same thing.
You're building suspense and then relieving suspense.
Yes. I don't know if I completely agree with it, but it was very interesting when I heard it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But it's also, you gotta love when you can see, like, great actors and great artists be able to do multiple facets of the art. So
well, the thing about the casting for the Safdie brothers is they use people who aren't actors all the time. So it's even more interesting in that I think like they're just, again, really good directors and they can just see things in people. There's their casting director too, but I think it kind of proves in a sense you don't really even need actors. You just need people who can like who can do it.
Yeah, I've always been saying this. Actors are overrated. We got to start putting these niggas in their spot. The amount of pretentious actors that I know that needs to be shut down. Bro, a kid can do your fucking job. I'm not impressed.
You think so? Because I was thinking recently, like, what do they teach you in acting class? Like, when you go to acting class, what the fuck are they telling you? What are they saying?
They're like, oh, you go to acting class, they're like, it's not what's on the page. It's what's the page makes you feel, and you have to let it go into the camera. Like, what the fuck does that mean? How do I say these words? I don't respect actors. I'm saying this on your podcast first. They are overrated. The good ones are good.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the best of the best.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mediocre ones that are just like out here like, I'm an actor. No, nigga, you work at McDonald's. We got to start telling these people.
Now, do you think like, are you thinking like big names that people would recognize when you say that? Or are you thinking about like smaller actors?
I'm thinking about my homies that I know. I'm being petty.
I mean, like, I think it's kind of, I think you could say the same thing with comedy. You could say the same thing with music. I think you see a lot of people who, in my mind, I think about it like role playing. Like, I feel like they're role playing and they aren't even actually doing the thing they think they're doing. Like with rap, I think most rap's mediocre and not that good. And that's why if I'm going to tell you I'm a rapper, you immediately think, oh, he probably sucks. Like that's the first thing you're going to think.
That's fair. It's a very pragmatist take. I just wanted to shit on actors, but you're right.
But it's everything. Like if you told me you're a thing, I'm going to immediately think, oh, he's probably not that good at it.
Well, I'm going to stop telling people I'm a sex machine then.
Yeah, you have to prove it. You have to prove it.
You got to prove it. It's really crazy. Well, you said it. You got to prove it now, St. J's.
That's what they're waiting for. Because, I mean, like, honestly, like, even comedian. Like, if you told me you're a comedian and I'd never seen you perform, the first thing I'm probably going to think is, oh, he's probably all right. Like, he might be okay. But then you perform and it's like, oh, you're really good. No one's ever going to expect you to be good. Because most good things are rare.
That's a good point.
So I think, and that's why, like, open mics are torture. That's why you go to open mics and it's a different form of torture that you've never been introduced to before.
I was talking to a lady and she's like, what are you up to? I'm like, well, I'm probably going to do my runs, and some of my runs, if I don't have shows, is I do open mics. She's like, oh, I would love to come to an open mic. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I would love to. I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, why? I'm like, one, because I've been to so many. Two, because I've seen guys bring their girlfriends and dates, and it's never that much fun. She's like, try me. I'm like, do you really want to come? She's like, I live up the street from the open mic you're going to. So she got there before I got there. She texted me and she goes, I've been here for 15 minutes. I haven't laughed once. I go, well, that's cool. I'm probably still 10 minutes out, so enjoy the silence. And then I got there, and she's like, why did you tell me it was going to be this bad? I was like, I literally told you it was going to be this bad. You didn't believe me. And to be fair to open mic comedians, we are trying stuff, you know. That's what you get better at. It's not meant for the regular person to come and expect like a Comedy Central type thing.
That's the problem, is they don't understand the context. They think they're walking into a comedy show or something. Yeah.
Well, they are. They're just walking the comedy show with non-professionals.
Yeah.
It's weird because being funny is one of the hardest things you could do, and also one of the most least appreciated things as well. Like a weird juxtaposition of those two things.
Yeah, because it's really hard to do, but I also think like when you do something really well, it almost seems like you didn't even do anything. And that's kind of part of the problem, is if you are really good, it almost seems like you didn't do anything at all.
It's like my sex life.
And a normal person couldn't tell the difference, right? So a normal person doesn't know the difference between somebody doing really good at something and like mastering something and someone who's just kind of mediocre. And it just kind of evens itself out over time. Like I think people do shine through that, but an ordinary person that's not like a super fan of something, they don't know the difference. So you walk into an open mic, it's hard to tell who's who and who's good and who's not, because a person who's really good are so good that they just kind of like skate in and out of it.
You see the craft of it. And here's another thing. I heard somebody say this once and I agree. Everybody has a funny friend.
Yeah, right.
Everybody has a funny friend. Everybody's made a joke in context, and people don't understand. It's funny to be people don't understand. It's easy to be funny in context. It's not that easy to be funny out of context, which means, yeah, that thing that happened when you was all there is funny, but like now go on stage and try to reframe that. And I don't need to blow up comedians. Comedians are fine. I'm not trying to sit here and suck comedians' dick. Yeah. But at the same time, it is like that thing was like, you can be funny when you're not expected to be funny.
right.
But can you be funny when people are expecting you to be funny? That's like the game, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm not ever going to start comedy. I just don't think I'm ever going to do it. I think I'm totally fine. I'm funny enough in conversation. I'm not going to ruin it, you know, by trying to go on stage.
Probably got a good relationship with your father. You know, you're good. Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need to satisfy anything, you know. I'm good. Well, really, it's because I think I'm good enough at music. I should just focus on that. And if I go and try to start this whole new thing, I know how it works.
Yes.
You're just not that good at it for a while, and then you get better at it. And I think that applies to music too, and I've seen it in myself. I've gotten so much better over the 13 years that I've made music. And do I want to start year one on comedy? Probably not. I think I'm all right.
And it's a rough grind too. That's the other thing. Comedy's a very rough grind.
If you want to do it right and you want to do it well, I think that's like, because people get the wrong idea and they think I'll just go to one mic a week and that's fine. I think that if I was to do comedy and I wanted to do it right, I would probably want to go every night as much as I can and try to get better, because that's the whole point.
That's
in my
the whole
mind.
point. You know that.
Yeah. And so that's the part that would drive me crazy. It's like, do I need that? Probably not.
And I mean, like you got to go to open mics. Open mics are usually not the best. I've noticed this with a lot of my peers who started when I started is being at a bar late at night consistently, drinking all the time. It doesn't, believe it or not, it doesn't age you very well.
No.
Usually a lot of comedians are depressed. Go figure. So that's not good for your soul either. Like, I love comedy. I like making people laugh. It's the best thing that happened to me. But I would be lying to you if I said it. If I would sit here and say it's not downsides to pursuing that dream. Now, to your point earlier, it's downsides to pursuing any dream.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing you're gonna do that for everything. It's a trade off for everything. But comedy is one of them trade offs. Like, man, like you look up, like, man, I'm a little sad. I got a beer gut.
When people glamorize it, I think, and don't realize how not glamorous it is.
Not at all. And it's one of the things, like, at least, like, and this is, like, my pet peeve for, like, musicians and even artists. It's, like, it's a swagger to it even before you're famous to do it. It's not a lot of swaggers. Maybe recently, like the last few years, because of social media, being like saying you're a stand-up comedian means a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But when I started being a comedian, saying you was a comedian wasn't like the coolest thing you could be doing. It was like, it's like first thing they say is, "Are you funny?" It's like, and then the second they say is like, "Do you make money from it?" Like, it's very much like the undertone, like, why do you do it?
Yeah.
Like, when you're a famous comic, it's cool, but just being like a nobody.
Yeah, and I would say I experience the same thing with music. It's like if you tell someone you do music and you're like a rapper, the first thing they'll ask you most of the time is, "Oh, do you make money? Like, how much money do you make?" Almost always. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I mean, because they're trying to like validate whether or not
they should respect you or not. That's the weird thing about being a comedian. Like, I went to a party. Now, this is like 2 summers ago, and this woman. Very pretty woman, but because of that, super like egotistical, like self-absorbed, and was like, and I was like, I'm a comedian. She was like, "You're a comedian. Make me laugh." I was like, I'm fine. She, no, tell a joke. I'm good. No, tell a joke. And it's like everything like, "Miss," and you know, and I can play that game. Like, if I wanted to be like, "Oh, blah blah blah, you're fucking, look at what you're wearing," I could do it, but I don't want to do it. Right. And this weird thing was like, I forgot my point. I was trying to make a point, like how, like it's like a respect thing that she's trying to see if she deserves to give me by trying to make me be funny on the spot. It's like this thing, like, "Miss, 1, it's my job. 2, I don't know you. 3, you're being weird. Like chill out." But I digress.
It's the scenario itself that makes it weird. Like,
and this is another thing I want to add to it. Everybody thinks they're so like, "Oh yeah, you're a comedian. I'm going to ask you to be funny." And then, like, the new ones, like, "I know everybody asks you to be funny. I'm not going to do that, but be funny." And it's like, bro, if people realize how unoriginal they are and how, like they're just, like, the, like, norm in my life, but not in a good way. Like, the norm, like, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Like, they're just, like, a little bit. Bane of my existence is too strong. Yeah. But everybody thinks they're, like, this cool, hip, "Oh, I met a comedian. I'm going to, like," sometimes people, like, you see people like, "Oh, I'm going to try to come at him so he can come at me."
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, then you get like the heckler persona. Like that's a type of person that would go to a show and try to like talk back to a comedian.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest mentality I think a person could ever have. Like,
it's
I
like
just don't understand it.
It's like somebody going to a music show, like, oh, you know what? I brought my harmonica in the back. Let me hop on. Let me play with you guys from the crowd.
Yeah. So yeah, and I guess like I have seen people who I guess just don't understand comedy etiquette. Like you just don't talk while the comedian's talking. Like I've seen outrageous offenses. Like I think there was a video uploaded by the Laugh Factory like within the last 6 months or so, and it was like two ladies in the front row, and the comedian was talking, and it was just like they were just the camera because the Laugh Factory has a audience camera and they have a camera of the guy on stage, so they're cutting between in the video, and you can just see these people having like a casual conversation, like they're talking about their plans later, and they're just talking, and obviously you can't hear them very well because it's not like mic'd up the right way, so you just see these ladies and you see the guy on stage like addressing it, but you can only imagine how loud these bitches were. And so it's like you're ruining the show for everybody. There's all these people here, like how do you not even realize this is not what anybody came for, but some people just don't have that perspective, I guess. I've tried to understand it. Like, how could you possibly even get there? Like, how could you be that person?
Social media hasn't helped. Social media has definitely made it where everybody thinks they're a part of the show. And I'm not anti-crowd work. I do crowd work. But
that's a whole different thing. Yeah, like I'm talking about people like not just so unself-aware that they're talking and ruining it. But there's also people trying to participate who don't understand they're ruining it. But at least they understand what's happening. So there's that.
At least they're aware of the situation.
Yeah. But there's levels to this, I suppose. But in all cases, I just don't understand. Like there's a social contract you agree to when you go to a show. Like how do you not realize no one else signed the contract of you talking?
Because we live in a self-absorbed society where everybody, especially once again because of social media, everybody thinks they need to be a part of the action and they're the main character.
I agree with that 100%.
And once again, I'm not even trying, I don't want to be this guy. I want to come on this podcast, but you know, you respect comedians. Fuck comedians. But at the same time, respect your fellow audience members.
Yeah.
You know, respect other people in society. To your point, nobody wants to hear you fucking. But I saw somebody pick up the phone at a show. I was at a show, somebody picked up the phone.
Yeah, that's wild.
and I mocked him. We all laughed about it. But then he kept talking. And I was like, dude, no, get out.
Yeah.
I'm like, so, no, get. It's like, no, it's like, it was funny because I made it funny because I'm quick on my feet. But at some point, it's like, you're just talking on the phone, and he was in the front row.
Yeah.
He was black. I didn't have to tell you that either. He was in the front row. I'm like, dude, leave. What's wrong with you? What do you think you're doing right now? You're having a conversation on the phone. Yeah. Unironically, he wasn't a plant. I didn't pay the nigga. He wasn't there for me.
Yeah, and of course, like every now and then you'll see a video of the comedian take the phone and answer the phone, but like if you don't want to do that, that's like because that's the only solution I think from there, and even then, like that might not go well, and he still might not get it. You might just have to kick him out anyway. It's because who does that?
Who in the right mind does that? I couldn't think of doing that in any situation ever.
Yeah,
a comedy show, a music show, a job interview.
Yeah,
fucking. Like, in any social situation, I'm not going to pull out my phone and just start having a real full-blown on conversation.
Was he talking loud, too?
Yes. It wasn't like he was whispering, which would be actually kind of funny. It was like, actually... like, at least they're, like, kind of, sort of respectable. No, just like, yo, bro, I'm in a comedy show. He says this. I'm in a comedy show, bro. I have to hit you back. Oh, yeah, I got your message. I got to hit you back. Oh, shit, okay. And it's not even like I hit you back, hang up. It was like apparently the dude on the other line was like, no, I got to get this answer, whatever I called you for. And even though you said you're on a comedy show, even though I can hear you talking to me at full value, I'm going to make you keep talking. You can't make this shit up, bro.
Yeah, people are crazy. I just think people just don't know. Like, because it makes
people don't care to. Don't know is a little bit of a cop-out.
You think it's like a willful ignorance situation? Because, I mean, it makes me at least respect who I am. It makes me think at least I know better than to be that guy. Like, I can see that guy.
It's a lack of empathy for the people around you.
Yeah. And I just, it is what it is. These people will always exist. Like, I don't think there's a world where these people don't exist, but it is like also such a pain to like I just don't understand how people don't learn. Like I learn, and I guess some people just don't learn. Like they would walk out of that experience and they would do the same thing again 3 weeks later. Yep. They're not gonna learn from that.
Yep.
And like most people, they would have that happen. They would go, oh, I shouldn't do that again. And that's what's so crazy about these people is there's just this. So that's what makes me again question like how much do they even understand what's going on? Are they so willfully ignorant that they just look past all that and do it anyway? Or do they literally not even know how terrible they're making their life? They're just like walking around like that all the time, just not even realizing the problem is them.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? And then another thing I've noticed is like on top of that is a lot of people just don't have critical thinking skills. And I remember talking to my cousin, we was talking about like dating and shit like that. And he was just like telling me all this like stuff he's like, he heard online about the dating market and women and stuff like this. And it's like this thing, like I looked into some of the people he was talking about, and it's like this thing I was like trying to tell him, like, cuz, do you understand these people are trying to sell you something?
Yeah.
And they're prying on your insecurities? Yeah. And it's like, no, what about this? What about this? And he sent me something else. I was like, before I look into this, bro, is it a course that I will find on this website about how to get women? If it is, you can't take him seriously. And that was just the easy example, but that's the thing with everything. Like everybody's been sold something consistently. We're being dumbed down so we can be easily sold to at every point in life.
Yeah. How do you think we've been dumbed down though?
I mean, education system for sure.
Yeah.
Recently, I don't think AI is helping. I think the push. I mean, it's like this whole push on online and podcasts. Sphere of anti-intellectualism, like that's a cool thing. Not knowing is a cool thing. Conspiracy theories is a cool thing. And here's the thing, bro. I believe in some conspiracy theories. Yeah. I'm not above it, but it's like this concept. This would be the best way. The one thing I've noticed, especially in young men and men, is like men, especially with gambling. You would think gambling will help. It doesn't. Like people don't understand statistics and understand probability and understand like odds and shit. Like I was telling my cousin, like I'm chasing my dreams, but I'm hyper aware that of all my friends, all my peers of what we're doing, 1% of us are gonna make it.
Yeah,
that's just the game. And then everybody's like the self-help coach is like, but you could be the 1%. Like maybe I could, and hopefully I am. But if I'm the 1%, that means 99% of people failed. That is just math. But people can't do math, and it's because we've been taught to not think about math.
Yeah,
that's a lot of our culture is believing like you're different, you're gonna make it out. The numbers, the numbers don't make sense. The numbers don't need to add up. The money doesn't need to add up. Even though you're blowing all this money on this thing, you'll get it back, even though it's no real way for you to get it back. But you don't have to think. It's like, don't think about it now. Figure out later. Yeah. Like, put your head down. I'm not an anti-self-help guy, but I will say stuff like that has made us, it's made us oversimplify life in a way that I don't think is always productive. Like I said, like, my cousin's like, I was talking about, like, maybe, like, getting a career and, like, having, like, something a little bit safer. He was like, nah, bro, I'm going to figure things out. I'm like, nigga, you live in your mom's basement. Hey, bro, maybe you're not good. It's fine. Maybe you're not the one, bro. It's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is he can't do the he can't understand the concept of long-term thinking and probability and how like this isn't all meant for it to work out because one, that's capitalism. Not trying to go down that route.
Well, I think I would like as you were saying that I would think like part of the problem is the system is against poor people. Like it's not a system that favors being poor and getting rich. That's just not what happens.
It thrives on poor people.
Yeah,
anything.
Exactly. So like moving up in that system takes so much ingenuity. You do kind of have to be that 1% just because of the system that we're in. Like it becomes a hyper prevalent truth because what else are you gonna do when it's literally impossible to do anything else? Like you're either going to be poor forever or you have to be so creative that you find a way to stop being poor. That's how it works. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, to me, if we had a system that was more, I don't know, it just was easier. Like, it's not capitalism to me. It's like hyper capitalism. Like whatever we're in is like some crazy, like way too far down the line. Like we could have fixed it a while ago. We just never did. And now it's just wild. So, I mean...
And people don't realize that. And to your point, now, I don't disagree with you. Also, maybe people realize that, and that's like we're both artists, so it's like that thing. Like, well, if we're going to take one shot, if we only get one hit, just try to hit a home run. So I do agree with the logic, but at some point, everybody can't be an artist. Everybody could do the same thing. There's something to be said about, maybe play your hand in a safer way that's more sustainable. And I also understand that the people you're listening to are trying to sell you something and they're feeding off your insecurities.
Yeah.
And because of that, they are pointing you in the wrong direction because that keeps you in the loop.
It keeps you in a loop, right? And to I think like it's unrealistic to tell people like, I mean, it's just easy to guide people the wrong way because people are more moldable than you'd think, Like I think everything's kind of like low grade hypnosis and you're always kind of being hypnotized by things in ways you don't even realize. And that's another form of that, right? Like you get hypnotized by this person online telling you, like that's why self-help people are so successful. And I think that's why like mega church people exist, like these mega church pastors that people believe this bullshit when they're telling you they can cause miracles and cure you, and meanwhile they're just making a bunch of money. Like these people exist, and you'd think, well, how could somebody like con people like that? But it's because people want to believe something. Everybody wants to believe something, and then people like hypnotize you into believing whatever the thing is, and then you join a cult. And that's how it works. And we're all kind of in cults in a way, and so
Oh, definitely.
Like everybody's got their own cult. I really think that you got one whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was watching. It's funny because I was watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix.
I haven't seen it. What's it called? Is it called is it the Wild West one and the West one?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And I remember this because, and now, I'm not like super into the Cowboys. I recently have got way more into football in the last couple of years. But I remember when the Last Dance came out. I watched that like everybody in the city and loved it. Watched it over and over. It was amazing. And I was like, fuck it, that's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. Then I watched the Cowboys documentary about this football team in the 90s. Great dynasty and all that shit. But the whole time watching this shit and they're glorifying these people and just fucking blowing these people and like singing their praises to the heaven. And I had the first time I thought to my life, I go, oh, is football a cult? Am I a cult? Because it never hit me. Because like every documentary I've ever watched has been about Chicago, so I'm inherently bought into it. So I'm not thinking about how much they're like it's so much glaze for these people. I watched it for another team that I don't give a fuck about. I'm like, oh, I think this is all a fucking cult. I think I'm fucking in the fucking cult of fucking sports. I'm like, these people, like, the way I'm like, it hit me like, these people are really talking super highly of a bunch of men who fucking catch a ball. Like, you would thought these people cure fucking cancer, how they're fucking glorifying these guys. And once again, this is a guy who watched The Last Dance repeatedly and didn't think anything about it. Like, dude, he shoots a ball into the net. It's nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. And I'm like, no, he's the greatest person to walk this planet. Then I watched it from a perspective of I don't give a fuck. I'm like, man, this is a lot of fucking hype for a kid's game that is low-key taking years off their lives.
Yeah, it's weirder from the outside looking in, I would say. Because, like, for some reason, I've never gotten into sports, and I've always had that second perspective. I've always kind of looked at sports and been like, I just don't understand. Because in my mind, it's like, I could have been born anywhere. So the fact that I'm born here and I care about this team, to me, doesn't make sense unless like you want to like have a group identity and you want to like bond with everybody and this is your way of bonding with everybody and being a part of a group. Like, to me, that makes sense. But like beyond that, I just don't get why people would give so much of a fuck if their sports team wins or loses, because you don't have any influence on it. It doesn't matter. Now people are gambling, and so it kind of does matter, and they are emotionally part of the game, but in a whole different way that's kind of like antithetical to sports to me. Like, I think if you're upset about a team losing or like losing a parlay, you're not really enjoying football for like football anymore. Now you're like gambling and you're watching the game with like all these weird conditions, and that's like not the way to enjoy it.
And I got so many takes on that, but it was one thing I also want to say, because I agree with you. That's kind of how I feel about religion. I'm not a religious guy anymore. I grew up very religious. I'm still spiritual. I still believe in a God and a higher power. But the thing about religion is, cause I came from a very religious Christian background, and the one thing I realized when I talked to some of my family about it, and they're like all like they know for a fact that this is the right way, and they consistently, I don't say this to them, but consistently hits me like, do y'all not realize you guys feel this way because you was born on the south side of Chicago and my grandparents, and for them, Mississippi in the South, and like if you grew up in this East Africa, you'd be probably Muslim or something like that. Or if you grew up in in any of the Asian countries, you'd probably be like Hindu or
you're a product of your surroundings.
Yeah, and the fact that people can't even kind of comprehend that to me is very interesting.
Yeah,
and like
it's a good thought experiment. Like, what if I was born at this time in this place? Like, how different would I be? Would I be myself, or would I be a whole different? It's like a nature versus nurture thing in a way. Like, if I was the same person but in this whole different place, would I still be me? Because it's hard to tell.
Exactly.
You don't really know how much your conditions and your surroundings have formed you until you really think about it. And it's probably a million times more than you'd like to admit,
Oh, yeah.
You are a product of your surroundings.
Which is why I try to have like a little grace for people who are older than me. Like, I don't
it was a different world.
It was a different world.
Yeah.
And a lot of people probably don't mean to be bigots. They probably don't even think they are being bigots. No, I'm not trying to defend bigotry, and I do think people should grow and change. But you have to be fair. Like, it is a thing. Like, these standards were not the standards I grew up with. The standards I grew up with, I was actually the most progressive guy. I used to I had all my homies who were like my homies had Mexican friends.
Yeah. That's funny because the standards really are that different. Like what was progressive in the 60s can be like offensive now. And they think they're being cool.
They think they're being so cool.
They're down with it, They're trying to show you.
They don't even know like they're a part of the problem. But but that's another thing. We don't have enough conversations with people.
Yeah.
We're so quick to demonize people for like small things. It's like, people make mistakes. People say things you shouldn't.
Well, I think so. I think like the thing is, like if you were to look at that in like a spiritual perspective, which I think like in my music and everything, I think one of my goals in life would be, I think we should look at things through a spiritual perspective. That's the right way to look at things, is that you're not perfect, and spiritually you change and you find the right way all the time, and you say the wrong things, and that's how you figure out what the right things are. We all experience that. We all know what that is. So if you understand that in yourself, I just don't understand why we then project this perfection onto other people and expect perfection on other, like, you're not perfect. We all know that because we all are not perfect.
Exactly.
So how could you ever expect someone else to always do the right things? And I think that's why you would then, in a way, you should guide people the right way so that you can guide yourself the right way, and you should all just orient yourself towards that rather than expect other people to do the right thing, because you're not expecting yourself to do the right thing. Like,
exactly.
you should expect the same thing out of both of you. It's like, try to get people to do the right thing as you try to get yourself to do the right thing.
Let thou without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah,
I believe a famous black guy once said that.
Which one?
Jesus.
My favorite.
Big fan of the Jesus guy.
Jesus, then Oprah. It's those two.
You know what? Shout out to the black goats. Jesus, Oprah, and MJ. Two of them from Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, MJ's not from Chicago, but two of them Chicago owned. You get my point.
Chicago owned. CO.
I wanted to touch on the gambling thing too. It's so funny to me that I like this. I'd love to know your 2 cents on this. This time in society makes me so sad because everything I've ever wanted in my life, everything I ever liked, like all my vices are legal and like not ashamed
like
upon.
The weed thing from before.
Weed, gambling, porn, all mainstream, all a part of our diet. Drinking, drugs, and it's like, and I'm like, I've got older, and I don't think I got older. I just think because our society we've gone too far, and now this is not to be a conspiracy theory, just another way to control the masses. I think like everything I loved as a kid, I'm like, bro, I can't wait to get old so I could just fucking smoke weed, gamble, and have sex with whoever I want. And now I'm up here like, bro, I'm like, oh, this shit's lame. Gambling's lame. I used to love the concept of gambling and to gamble. And now I see the way that it's consistently pushed on everybody. The fact that it's rigged against so many people. The fact
openly rigged.
Openly rigged. I'm glad you said it. And the fact that like all these young men are suffering, getting screwed, is like now the onus is, they're just taking advantage of people. And like as a guy who, lucky enough, was able to, I was a little bit of an addict, but was able to step back at the right time and see it for what it is, and a guy who cares about my society and my fellow peers, and to watch them get taken advantage of and get fucked like this, excuse my language, it makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? Exactly. I think like because again, I think it's one of those things. The average person can't tell the difference between like they don't know what's happening. Like most people are just living their life and trying to survive, so they don't even notice if something like that were taking control of them. And I think what's crazy is like it's just gotten more. I think it's one of those things where probably the root of the whole thing is not conspiratorial. It's just that money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil, and there's no limits on where these things can go. And so now with like gambling, it's gotten to a point where it's just so unlimited, and what these people can do is they can just take advantage of their user base and make it so, again, the house always wins, just like a casino. It's the same thing. The house always wins. It's the same exact thing.
Same thing.
It's built the same way.
But worse, because now it's on your phone, and they can put what made me so
it's
sad.
So accessible.
It's
yeah,
so accessible, and they have algorithms to tell when you're addicted. They have algorithms to tell when you're really bad at it, and they'll
suggest bets to you. They'll be like, the game's on today. It's like a notification on your phone.
I heard something. Tell me if you heard this one. I thought this was crazy. They had one guy who was like one of the like some company had a guy who's like one of the best bettors, and they gave him all these prizes. They would send him to games and shit, and like on their dime to keep him betting. As soon as he started winning, they took away all the prizes. Like he started winning for like 2 weeks straight. They're like, oh, you actually don't meet the criteria. He's like, what's the criteria? I'm still gambling the same. Just like, yeah. And they didn't say it, but it was pretty much implied. It's like, oh yeah, you win now, so we're not gonna we're not gonna give you stuff.
There was some guy in Chicago. He was on the news, and they were interviewing him because he had like this massive win where he won a bunch of money, and they were refusing to give him the money. And there was this whole like legal process where he was saying he didn't break any rules and he didn't do anything wrong, and they're just refusing to give him money. And they're saying, no, he broke this particular rule. And he's saying, like, he's making that argument that they just don't want people to win. Like, there is a way to manipulate these things and make more money, and that's what I was doing. I was using their system that they set up and making money, and they didn't like that, so they're not going to give me my money. And that is what happened. You can't figure it out and start winning because it's exactly like a casino.
If you win too much, they ban you from the sites.
Exactly. They'll find ways, and they'll make up reasons, and they'll do these things, and it should be illegal, but I guess it's not. I guess they can do that. Like, it becomes a legal battle you'll have to fight, and probably they're just going to try to bleed you out. That's probably what they're doing. They'll be like, oh, let's just stretch this out and make them spend a bunch of money they don't have, and eventually they'll just settle with us, or that's probably because they have so much money that they could do something like that. They can just wait. They don't have to do anything else. So it's so crazy to me because, again, like, I think, like, it's not so much that there's these people with these crazy plans, they're trying to manipulate the masses. It's that slowly over time, we've just become more and more susceptible to these things because of the way things have gone. And now it's just out of control in like every different place you look. It's just everywhere. It's just like it's so hard to ignore things now. Well, and there's so, again, like out in the open, you'll see this type of thing. Like before, these people, like, you used to have to hide this stuff. You couldn't just openly not give people their winnings and openly, like, that would have never worked in the sports betting world. You could have never done that. Now they can, and it just gets like, it's just a news story you read and you keep swiping and no one else thinks anything of it.
But why do you think? So I agree with everything you said. The only thing I would push back is I do think it's intentional because they are trying to get us to get used to move on to the next thing.
So but who would it be?
Oh, I'm not like
because that's what I would mean. Like, how would it be an organized, intentional thing? Like, that's what I would wonder. Like, who could possibly, like, how, if there was would it be like the tech people? Would it be like the people in the government with influence in tech?
I think they're one and the same. I think at this point, billionaires run our society, money runs our society. Yeah, I think I'm not like on some conspiracy like a cabal of a certain group. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but I just wonder who would have that intention and why. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what it would make me wonder. Is this just something that happens, that occurs over time, or is it a group with an intention? And that's because you say it may or may not be intentional. So that's
I think it's intentional for sure. Now, to answer your question, I didn't expect us to go. I didn't actually expect us to go anywhere near this. So I don't have like my thoughts completely clear. But I will say this:
it's a good thought experiment. Right? It's a fun thing to think about.
I will say this: I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's like one person pressing the button. I'm not on some like a certain group. I'm not trying to make it like that deep. I do think it's more follow the money, if anything.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, do I think big tech is in the bed with the government.
Well, obviously, yeah.
That's more what I'm saying. And then with
At this point, there's emails you can read.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
So then my point is to your question. I guess the logic would be like, dumb us down, have us docile, so they can keep doing things like openly take advantage of us.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people still gamble, and I think I'm not the smartest guy. I'm a decent guy.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I don't know you that well, but you seem smart. Would you call yourself a genius?
No.
Okay, you hesitate, dude. So maybe, but my point being, with you,
I think if I call myself a genius, that might prove I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but I guess my point to us, we're two regular, maybe smart, regular guys, average Joes who are not idiots.
Yeah,
if we can figure,
I wouldn't call myself an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't call myself. So we're two average Joes, not idiots, and if we can kind of see this. Why can't the other average Joes see this unless they're intentionally trying to get us used to on to the next thing,
Yeah.
Get us addicted to this stuff. Now, to your point, who? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know who.
What is an interesting idea, like if it were, again, really, like think about it, if you were, in any scenario, if you were somebody who wanted to have control over people, a phone would be the absolute easiest way to do it. I mean, come on.
Yes.
It's the easiest way. And I think that's why advertisers and like Google has become what it's become. I mean, it's crazy. Because if you remember the past, you do remember a Google that was different. Like Google would just come up with anything and you could get the wildest stuff on Google. Now it is like heavily filtered. And I remember like I just remember this because it was so odd to me. I couldn't believe how like it was just proof. And I mean, obviously, like now it's just so obvious. If you go on YouTube and you type in search results, I mean, even the homepage on YouTube's gotten worse. It's like barely any videos now. It's like some lives, and then it'll be like advertisers, and then it'll be games, and it'll be all these things that aren't YouTube. They aren't videos. It's not what you're going to YouTube for. And like again, you'll type in a search result, and you'll just get a bunch of like, you'll get 3 things, maybe like 5 to 10 videos that are like results close to what you searched. But it's not organized by relevance. It's organized by like who knows what.
Add value, add dollars to consuming. I'm pretty sure you could pay to have yourself boosted up. Keep going though. Yeah,
so it's stuff like this, and then it's just a bunch of unrelated shit. It's just recommended beyond that. It's literally just 10 videos and then recommended. It used to be you would type something in, you would just have pages and pages and pages of results. But what I was gonna say was, I remember there was this thing I saw on Facebook when I was scrolling in like 2021, I want to say, and it was a girl in court, and she was just passionately crying, talking about election interference. And so I remember I saw this video, like I didn't see the video, I saw like people talking about the video, and they were saying, oh, this lady's so crazy, and that's all I could find of the video. And I thought, that's okay, well, people are saying this about the video, I'm gonna go watch the video and see what the lady's saying. And I could not find the video for like the life of me, dude. And it's all these people talking about this video, and they're talking about it, and there's this clip of it, and I cannot find the video. And I'm typing it on YouTube. It would be, and I think I had to like search for probably like 20 minutes to find the video. And it's not like, to me, it's not even the content of the video that's important. It's the fact that why can't I find this source material of this thing that should be so easily. So is it this algorithm that's just hiding things from me?
Well, did you hear about the TikTok thing recently where they're like not pushing any anti-Israel stuff?
Oh yeah, there's some crystal clear proof. Yeah, they just won't show you it. Yeah.
The shooting in Minnesota, I don't know if you want to talk about it, which we don't have to, but just my point is,
they want there's like censorship on social media surrounding
on TikTok,
it.
heavy, like on those two subjects, like the shooting that happened recently in Minnesota. They was like, people like videos like, if you talked about it, suppressed, not being pushed. Being at like anything talking about Israel, Zionism, all that shit suppressed. So like once again, like at this point, it's like this weird thing. Like at the agreement, it's like it would be crazy to us to not believe that they're not pressing the buttons.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
No. Like I said,
well, and then like again, what do they want you? If there is the suppression, then what is being suppressed, and what is the intention, and what do they want you to think, and what is and like I just think it's also like, I like this idea that the government used to do bad things and now they're good, because that's like you have to believe if you think that they're not interfering with things. Like, we all know they used to be bad. The question is, are they still bad?
That's a good point.
The answer is always yes.
I had an uncle that used to be an alcoholic, and as we got older, we noticed he stopped being as drunk or stop like drinking as much. But then we realized, he just started drinking later in the night when we went to sleep.
Got better at got better at pulling it off.
Got better at hiding it.
Good for him.
Yeah,
probably produced a lot of less stress in his life, Like, finally, I figured out how to get away with this.
Oh, shit.
That is funny.
I forgot I had this.
Oh, right there. I feel like it's just crazy because I think that people, it's interesting to me how people don't really seem to think about things all that much.
I agree.
Like, I would question everything all the time because, like, I think, like, kind of being... Like, I would assume even more so that poor people would do that because I think being poor makes you not trust anything. So I just assume that because I've been poor and I've been in positions like this long enough, I just know to question any promises and anything anybody ever tells me. And so then I look at like the news cycle and I look at like headlines like this. Like, I would never just say something. Every now and then I'll catch myself do it. But like, it just amazes me how often I really feel like people don't know. They just pick it's like, again, like a cult, like a team. Like, you pick a team and you just ride with your team and you don't actually think about anything. And like, that would be the easier thing to do. I think it's more stressful not to do that, and everybody's got a life. But it just amazes me to the degree in which you'll see that. I think it's like religion in a way. I think like people don't have religions, so they fill that hole with politics and they fill that hole with these things, and that's for better or worse. Like, you should care about that stuff. But
I completely agree. I get in so many arguments with my little cousins about this because it's cool right now. To your point earlier, we were making earlier, it's cool right now not to care, and it's cool right now not to not do your research.
Probably more so for like a younger generation.
For sure. But yeah, for sure. But the other thing I'm gonna say is, to be fair to a lot of these poor people, is they also don't. To a lot of people who aren't doing that well financially, a lot of times you just actually don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And then that's where it comes back to this thing, like, then you go online, these people are lying to you, and the guy who's screaming online that they're lying to you is also trying to sell you something.
Everyone's lying.
So exactly. Yes. So it's like you go down this loop with like, this isn't right. And the people, and then like the people who are usually a little bit more accurate, but they're trying to keep you in line. Yeah. Go down this conspiracy, and they're trying to keep you in line, so you don't want to go with them. The people who are like at least validating your craziness, but the problem is they're also crazy, and they're trying to get you down this rabbit hole to do something else. So it's like, where do you go? So it's like
the Truman Show, dude.
It's exactly like the Truman Show. So like, you do gotta do this thing. Like, you have to be. It just it takes a lot to break out of this fucking like a lot of wet animals in the zoo, and the zoo wasn't made overnight or like last night. It took them some time. They put thought into it.
Yeah, and I think nobody could have predicted it would be like this. Like, when phones came out, and that was like, I remember right pre-smartphones, because again, like, I'm lucky enough to just be on the cusp of that where I can remember that. Like, that's where I'm at in history, is 1998 moving forward. So I would be 10 years old when the iPhone really became a thing. And I remember what it was like before that. I had a Nokia. Like, that's what I was allowed to have. And I remember my mom didn't want to give me a smartphone for the longest time. She just didn't want me to have that. And like, looking back, like, I still wanted, like, I carried around this big fat ass tablet, and it was like super inconvenient because I was the kid that wanted to carry around a tablet. But still, I mean, like, it wasn't like a little phone that I could look up anything on, and it wasn't the internet that you have now, because the internet was different back then. Everything was different before, and no one could have predicted that the internet would spiral into what it is. Like, YouTube used to be this innocent website that could have anything, and YouTube's been like, pretty much all of these major platforms, I don't think people realize how bought out and they are. Like, it's not. It used to be this organic, beautiful thing on a social media platform. I heard this take
before. If you want to say more, I would love to know. Because what do you mean by that? Like, because YouTube is owned by Google.
It's just so, like I said, how the YouTube homepage is what it is. It's like advertisers have coerced these platforms into shifting and molding into basically being this advertiser-friendly thing and not user-friendly thing. Like, just the fact that Instagram has so many technical issues blows my mind. Yeah. Because like, Facebook bought it, and it's like, you are the major corporation with a monopoly on social media. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, and somehow Instagram fucks up all the time.
All the time.
Like,
that's a good point.
How is that happening? And like, how is there not a dedicated team that you can speak with whenever something gets removed or you lose your account? Like, why is there all this AI moderation for your, again, the biggest corporation? What were you going to say though?
How the fact do you guys get away with not paying your fucking content creators?
Yeah, exactly. All of these things. And then they'll take such a big cut out of, like, if people can gift you, they have like subscriber things, follower things. It's all to not, of course you can make money, but they're making like half of the money and that's why they're willing to do it. So it just blows my mind how, I guess, advertiser friendly, but also like just so they can make more. Like, it's never user friendly. None of that stuff ever is. TikTok Live is one thing where I remember when, like, I want to say 2021, I would go live and I would have so many people like discover me through the lives and they would follow me and it was the because their algorithm would change all the time. So it was this type of thing where if you posted and then you went live, there's no questioning it. Like, it would boost your post because you went live, and you would have a video that was going to get 300 views, but it would get 3,000 views because you were live right after you posted it. And now it is not that at all. Like, I swear to God, every time I go live on TikTok, it's like just a small fraction of the people that would have seen it before see it. And it doesn't matter if I posted before or not. Instagram, I don't even know what the fuck the point of live is because I swear I have 2,500 followers, which is not nothing, and nobody sees my live. Zero. And it's like, you're just telling me like none of these people are like, you're just not showing it to anybody. And I don't understand, because on YouTube it'll show your live to random people. So it's like, and I think that before, live used to be oriented towards users, but now they want you to pay to advertise your live. So if you do that, you'll actually get views. And I literally think, like, TikTok, that's literally what they do. I don't know if they do that on Instagram, but like, you can pay to advertise your live on TikTok. And as soon as I saw that, that's how all the dots connect in my mind. I'm like, oh, that's why live is worse, because they want you to pay. And it's just like how on Facebook, it used to be you could advertise on Facebook and pay $20, and so many people would see it. I'm talking like 2012, 2013, like around when I started making music, I would advertise on Facebook, and there would be all these views that you would get. You would pay, you'd pay like $15, you'd get 3,000 views. Like, that's a lot. But now you pay $10, $15, you get 400 views. You get like five, you get nothing. And like, I could get 500 views if the roulette wheel I'm spinning every time I post just hits the right thing, I'll get 500 views. So what's the point in paying you? But that's what drives me nuts, is it's just everything's about making more money. Everything's about, so like, again, YouTube getting rid of dislikes. That's YouTube. That to me, that's nuts. And the only reason they got rid of dislikes is because you would have all these Jimmy Fallon videos, all these night show videos getting massive dislikes. You would have all these news videos getting massive dislikes. Who's helping YouTube make money? All the advertisers for all these shows. So that's probably who's telling them, hey, can you like not show people dislikes anymore? It's not really helping our image. It's probably as simple as that, because why the hell else would you get rid of dislikes on a platform like that? Like, now you go to a tech video and you just don't know. There's all these fake trailers, where as soon as you would see a fake trailer, you would know it's fake, because it's like it got a massive dislike ratio. A dislike ratio matters, but on YouTube they just got rid of it, and never there was all these YouTubers that complained, and then nothing ever. It doesn't matter who, like, they can do whatever they want. They own YouTube. So it's like, but it's not user friendly, and that's what drives me nuts. I could just go on and on about it, because it's been happening slowly, and I think, again, like, it's one of those things that's just more blatant now than ever, and people have just come to accept that that's how these platforms are. They don't care that they're not user friendly, because I guess it's okay. Like, there was that whole lawsuit about whether Facebook had or whether Meta had a monopoly on social media or not, but I don't think that's over yet. I think that's still ongoing. If you heard anything about that.
I'm not.
Yeah, so they're trying to make the case that Meta has a monopoly on social media, which obviously they do.
Definitely.
But the question is whether or not you go through with saying that, because if you do, you set the precedent that no one can do that, and if you don't, well, then I guess it's just going to stay like this forever. Because who's going to buy them?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's just going to be another monopoly. So only if you have laws that prevent a monopoly can you prevent that. And that's, again, why it's not user friendly, because they have a monopoly. They don't have to do anything. There's no competition.
Yes.
They don't have to try.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you complain that you lost your Facebook account. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The only way you're going to get your account back is by suing them and taking them to court, because there's not going to be any person you can talk to about losing your account.
Yep.
So it sucks to be you.
Yep.
Because we don't have to do anything because we own Facebook and you don't. Like, that's how it works.
It's the game of haves and have-nots, which is kind of...
It just kind of blows my mind, like, how there's like all these platforms have gotten worse over time. It makes me sad because the internet used to be awesome.
Yeah.
It used to be so cool. I would even say 10 years ago, like 2016, the internet was still pretty good.
You know what has got better online? Porn.
Yeah.
The only thing. I wonder why.
You know, porn is interesting because anytime I look at porn, I think this shouldn't be free. Like, there's got to be some catch.
There has to be some reason why you can just watch something that it just makes your dopamine spike like that at the highest level. There's nothing else that makes your dopamine spike at that level that is free.
Yeah, it seems like it's got to be a scam somehow. It's got to be.
It has to be doing something to your brain chemicals. It has to be.
You know,
I don't know when I become this guy.
Well, porn does definitely like probably fuck you up in a way. The question is how. Like, you'll see like porn addicts, and that's probably as bad as it gets, right? Like, you just can't stop watching porn. I mean, there's people who will spend all their money on porn. Mm-hmm. So I mean, but I think that becomes a question of like, well, you can get addicted to anything. Like, maybe for them, porn's just the thing. But I do think that like sex addicts too, right? Like, it just becomes like, I think something with like, I don't know. There's got to be some. You're like, your brain goes the wrong way if you get all the way into that. Like, it's got to fuck up the way you look at the whole world. Your whole worldview's got to be wrong. Like, it's a different type of addiction.
You know about sex addicts?
Yeah, or porn addiction, both. Because like, you're just so looking at everything through that lens.
Oh,
you're just so fucked up, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, right? Because you can't control your vices. But
no, you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I like, as a guy, like, I went through a phase when I was watching too much porn. And I would tell you this, because I'm a very social guy. I'm also pretty good with the ladies. I'm not just like, in the sense that I can talk to women comfortably. Yeah. More my point, not that I'm good with them. But I remember
you're like Will Smith in Hitch, right?
No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that good. I'm just like, I'm a fun time. More my point. But I remember when I was watching so much porn, I went through a phase. I've gone through a phase a few times watching all this porn, and the one thing I noticed is like, I was so uncomfortable talking to people, especially women. Like, it just took my edge off. Like, couldn't make eye contact. Couldn't focus, couldn't live in the moment. And here's the thing, I make a lot of jokes about sex. I'm not really that horny. Like, it's just fun. It's like a fun game to play, especially on the podcast.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking to a lady, I'm very much intent on like communicating with her as a person. But I remember I was watching a lot of porn, and I'm just like, fuck. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not who I naturally am. You see what
and that's what it'll do to you. Yes. That's exactly my point.
Exactly.
And it happens like slowly over time in a way that you don't realize. And that's the dangerous part. You know, my mom told me once she doesn't like gory horror movies because like she feels like when she watches it, that's the type of thing a crazy person would watch and like would inspire them to go kill somebody.
I can see that.
And I was like, you know, that's such a mom take, but you know, she's
Shout out
right.
to your mom.
She is right.
Yeah.
I think I have my mom's empathy because, like, ever since she said that, I probably can't watch gory movies the same way. I'm like, yeah, some psycho would like this.
Too much of a pussy. I like Toy Story. I fall asleep to this Toy Story.
Toy Story is good. Yeah, I really do like Pixar. Did you see Coco? Coco was like one of my favorite Pixar movies.
I know Coco's good. I've been meaning to watch it. I'll watch it. You know what? Because you said it, I'll watch it this week.
So good. Because like, I don't know about modern Pixar. I feel like post Coco is where it starts to kind of fall off a little bit. But it's kind of like Coco they were still hitting. They hit so hard. I never saw Monsters University. I might like that a lot.
I didn't see either. But Monsters Inc.'s good.
All-timer. Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just think Pixar, like in the 90s and early 2000s,
great
2000s.
Fucking run.
Yeah, like so good. Like it's kind of hard to even. They're kind of competing with themselves. Yeah. Like their newer films are okay, but it's not like classic Pixar. Coco was almost like classic Pixar. That's why I would recommend it. It was really because I like how their movies are. I think like a kid's movie, a rule of like a comedy movie, movies in general, it should still have like the soul of anything else. It should still like have an intent and go somewhere and be creative. And in that, it's just a good movie. Like you shouldn't, like I think if there's no genre of movie that's inherently bad, and like kids movies don't have to necessarily be kids movies. Like they can be anything.
Well,
and I think that's why Pixar is so good, is their movies have so much diversity. Like Toy Story is just a good movie.
Toy Story. I mean, that's the thing about Pixar that made it so great. If you was watching it unironically, like even like you say you watching it now with your kid or you wasn't a kid, you still can enjoy the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I can enjoy it right now.
Yeah,
pull it up on the TV.
And just unironically watch it as a quality movie.
Exactly.
I mean, they was on the fucking. They was on a crazy run. It was like the Bulls in the '90s type run.
Yeah, I mean, what is there? Toy Story. There's Monsters Inc. Mm-hmm. I mean, what else?
Ratatouille one?
Ratatouille. Yeah. Yes. Bugs Life was that them?
No, Bugs Life is the other one.
Ants was them maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna have to pull this up because this is an important topic that we should probably get to. Cars.
I love first Cars. I think the other two, I don't think.
Inside Out was 2015. Mm-hmm. Up was 2009. Mm-hmm. The
Incredibles.
Wall-E. Finding Nemo.
All classics, bro. All classics.
A Bug's Life was them.
Oh, really? A Bug's Life.
1998.
A Bug's Life is really good.
Brave was good.
I did not see Brave.
It wasn't like great, but it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Lightyear was recent. Mm-hmm. Finding Dory was also them. Finding Dory was okay. Incredibles 2 is okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I think that's about it. You know, also you could say like Disney in the 90s had a great part. Like they had a big role in
Lion King.
Yeah, exactly. Aladdin.
Aladdin.
So many good ones. Yeah. And like it's kind of, I really think if Disney just went back to that animation style, they could do so much. Like just go back to that. We'll all accept it. But it's just, I just think studios think it's too much of a risk and they won't pull it off. But it's the right move. Like, what was the last one? The Princess and the Frog? That went fine. There was nothing that went wrong with that. It was a success. So why don't they keep doing it?
Is that why they fell off? Because I don't keep up with Disney, but now that you talk, I'm like, why hasn't there been a great kids movie in a second? What's happening?
I just think that the standards are so much lower. Like I think standards have gotten, I think audiences have been dumped down and standards are lower than they've ever been, and people will just accept things as they are, and they don't. Like, I don't think enough of a general audience complains. And I also think that, like, the people that do complain, they don't matter, because the people who that fund these things and sponsor these things, they only look at numbers. They don't care about anything else. They care about how many people paid to see it, what the viewership was. They don't care about the public's response or anything. All these terrible, like, video game movies that have come out, they're not going to make a good one, because as long, like, you'll go see Borderlands and watch Kevin Hart play Kevin Hart, and you're going to like it. You're going to go see Minecraft and watch Jack Black be Jack Black.
You know what's funny about that? To both, but Borderlands is one of my favorite games. I actually didn't go see the movie.
You didn't?
Because I heard it was so bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because the trailer came out and everybody immediately knew. And this is like something we're used to now, is they'll fund a video game movie. The video game movie is basically a bunch of actors just being the actors. And it's just for a general audience. It, like, what drives me nuts is you could make a good IP video game movie that would respect the source material and you could pull it off. That's not impossible. But that's not what these studios are doing. They're going for the most commercially viable thing, getting all these big name actors, and just trying to make something that a general audience is going to go see. They don't care about the fans of the source material. They don't care about that, because it's not for them. And so the people who actually like Minecraft and they want to see a movie about Minecraft, they're not going to see that. They're going to see the Jack Black. They're going to see the Jack Black Aquaman movie. That's what you're going to go see. And again, like, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. They're just going to keep making them. And also, one thing I heard that made me think about it differently is Hollywood's always 3 years behind schedule, in that, like, because of the way you make films, all these trends, like, if they already know the video game movies are over, they're still going to release video game movies for another year, because they're behind the trend. So they're going to, like, you see it happen. Yeah, because it takes so long to make a movie. So you actually don't see the rebound right away. Like, they probably already know this is not working and they're going to do something else. You know, like, it's like when they made Snow White. Like, why the fuck are you making another Disney live-action movie? None of these have done well.
None of them.
None of them. And you keep doing it. And it never does. Lion King wasn't that great, and then you made 2 more. Like, what is the point of this? No one wants it. And so I feel like Disney has just went so far the wrong way. And I love Disney. I'm not like a Disney adult, but I love their films, and their films have a special place in my heart.
Same.
I mean, I don't know if you ever played the Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh,
but that's cements.
Was that Disney?
That was there's so much Disney in it. Yeah,
oh,
because like
I knew that. I'm sorry, I haven't played. I played as a kid. I haven't thought about Kingdom Hearts in years. No,
it's got a special place in my soul because like the thing is, it's Disney mixed with like Final Fantasy. But what's so like genius about it to me is it's kind of like Smash Bros, where you take all these IPs and you can go to it's Disney, but there's this overarching plot, and you can go to these Disney worlds. And Mickey Mouse is like a Keyblade warrior, and he's one of the saviors of the world. You get fucking Donald and Goofy as your companions. I mean, it's the best concept for a game ever, if you ask me. You take Disney and you make it a Japanese RPG style game. That's nuts.
That's fine. Didn't one come out a couple years ago?
And again, like it completed my childhood. It was just coming full circle. Like it had been a part of my soul. It had always been in me. And then it's like when Tool finally released a new album. It's like a part of my childhood was finally recognized. Whenever Dr. Dre drops that album, it's gonna be all over. You know. What is the album? Dr. Dre's got the one, a Detox, maybe. It was like 2005.
I don't know.
It's a legendary Dre album that'll never come. But yeah, so it was Kingdom Hearts 3, and that came out in 2020.
Was it good?
2020. It's 2019 now. So long ago. But it was not as good as Kingdom Hearts 2. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best one in the series. That's arguable, but I think it's the best. Kingdom Hearts 3.
You're giving me a lot of stuff. I want to write some of the stuff down. I don't think. No, keep going. I just have to remember.
All right. I'll send you some text. I'll remind you. Kingdom Hearts. No,
it's not Kingdom. It was Kingdom Hearts. What was the movie that you said that was really good? I need to watch. We were talking Pixar. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, Coco.
Coco, Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it was one other thing, but we don't need to do it right now.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
We'll solve the puzzle. But Kingdom Hearts was Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean, that came out. I remember the day that game came out because me and my friend used to play the first one, and I remember like my dad told me in the car ride home from school, he was like, "Your friend got that new game you're talking about," and my dad would fuck with me, so I thought my dad was like making a joke. So I'm like, no, like there's no way, like you're messing with me. And I remember we got to the house, he was running across with like the booklet for the game, and it was unforgettable, dude. Kingdom Hearts 2, legendary game. And when it first came out, now you have like the final mix because it was only on PS2, and then it got remastered for PS3. And when it got remastered, the final mix was out. But it used to be, okay, how do I say? Like the final mix was the second version that was only released in Japan. So you have Kingdom Hearts 2 in America, and then you have Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix in Japan, which has like extra content and boss fights and stuff that's not in the original game, like all this additional stuff. So you would, back then, you'd have to go on YouTube and type in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and that's the only way you would see this stuff. And you'd be like, oh my God, like Japan's got the special version of the game. And maybe if you had like an emulator on your computer, you could play the Japanese version, or if you bought the Japanese version, you could play it in Japanese, but there's no translation or anything. And I remember the first time I ever played Final Mix, I would point my phone at the computer with Google Translate so I could read
the whole
things.
Game.
The whole
I respect it.
because I wanted to play that version so bad. There's a whole separate difficulty mode. There's like the hardest mode, and then there's critical mode, which is even harder than the hard mode, which isn't on the original version. It's only on this version. So it's like there was all this extra stuff. And nowadays you can just play it. You just play it because when it got remastered, I mean, I have it on my computer. Like you just have the version with all the stuff in it, and it's all translated. It's all everything. Kids these days don't know how hard it was. Okay, back then you literally would not know what they're saying unless you translated it. And you just have to play the game.
Tell them how hard you had it as a nerd. Let them know.
If you wanted to play the game as in its fullest potential, that was what you had to deal with. And so. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best. And Kingdom Hearts 3, when it came out, it was just that I think it's actually, again, you could say money, the root of all evil. What really went wrong, and I think it's kind of obvious. I don't think there's confirmation of this, but I just kind of know, is because I do know that this is like reported that Disney said they didn't want you facing any Disney characters in the game. Like you can't fight a Disney character, which in the first few games you could. So there's all these Disney villains that you fight. to me, that's like an essential part of the game. Is like, I want to fight Captain Hook in a fucking boss fight. I want to fight these guys in a boss fight. That's cool. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, all of a sudden, it's always like there's the bad guy, but then they just give you a giant heartless monster to fight, like a giant monster to fight. Like in the Monsters Inc. world, that's what happens. You're following Randall the whole time, and you're thinking you're going to have this cool Randall boss fight, and at the end, it's just some heartless monster. And it's like, what really happened was Disney had all this financial, like they had more involvement with this game than they did the previous one. So they're like, oh, we don't want you to depict our IP in the wrong way. So we want you to have the world stories follow our IP like almost exactly. And so they limited the creative potential of the game. And now it's interesting because it's been so many years since Kingdom Hearts 3. Is Kingdom Hearts 4 going to be kind of the same thing? It's also like a really, oh dude, it's so hard to explain. Like the way that the lore of the Kingdom Hearts games work, you kind of have to be a nerd if you want to understand what's going on. Like they used to jump between consoles back in the day. So it would be like there was a PSP game, then there was a PS2 game, then there was a Game Boy game, then there was a mobile game, and all of it's critical to the story. If you want to know things, you have to like, if you really want to know what's going on in Kingdom Hearts 3, you have to somehow have figured out all this other stuff. It got unbelievable when they made a mobile game. Now they have a mobile game that's like they're trying to get people to play. I will never play the mobile game. It's like Union Cross. And there's so much important story stuff, but it's like I do not have time to play your 50-hour mobile game where I'm just tapping buttons. Like that's not Kingdom Hearts to me. But they include so much important story stuff in this that it's unbelievable. Like you're not gonna know what's happening in Kingdom Hearts 4 because it was all in the mobile game. It's how it works. And they just like that's how they've done it from the start. You just accept that you don't know what's going on, and it's very Japanese. I feel like it's a very like American. I think it's kind of foreign to me. Like it's a Japanese storytelling.
You have to have buy-in, and it's done well. And it's connected. You say that, it makes me kind of sad because I don't think I've ever done anything like that. Except, I don't. Like,
what do you mean?
Like having to go travel through different consoles to play games. Like the closest thing I might have off the top of my head, it might be Pokemon.
Well, I don't think most that's what most people would never do that. Like it doesn't even make sense that they did that. It really doesn't make sense. It's like he purposely made it hard to have experience. And then like later on, again, they would release these like final, I mean it's not final mix, but it would be like collections where it was like you'd get Kingdom Hearts 1, you'd get Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which was the Game Boy Advance game, but then Re-Chain of Memories came out, which was the PS2 version of the Game Boy Advance game. And so it's just all of this stuff that would like, and then Birth by Sleep was the PSP one, and Birth by Sleep is like if you beat Kingdom Hearts 2 and you got like 100% completion, you would get a secret final scene at the very end, and it was a teaser for Birth by Sleep, and it was like 3 characters you've never even seen before, and what does all this mean? And you're thinking it's Kingdom Hearts 3, but it was actually the PSP game that came out way later, which most people had only played on PSP until they remastered it and put it. So like now you can experience most of it that way, but even then you're not going to get it unless you watch like a YouTube video that explains it all. Kingdom Hearts 1 is where it's not too bad. That's where it's like, okay, I can understand this. This is like anybody. It's all kind of like out there, but I can get it. And then Kingdom Hearts 2, unless you play Chain of Memories, you're not going to really get Kingdom Hearts 2 because Sora went to this, like, the place that you saw at the end of the first game. In that final scene, he goes there, and then he goes through the memories of these previous worlds, and that's, like, how he... And you're not going to... And it introduces you to Organization 13, which is all these new characters that were going to be in Kingdom Hearts 2, but you've never seen them before if you didn't play the Game Boy game. So it's just all crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you it makes no sense, but it's like I think it makes it more rewarding in a way, and I actually think it's like kind of ahead of its time, because I think
Definitely.
Jason Melton said this to me, and I'll never forget it because I think it's so true. It's like everybody likes like the meta version of something. Nobody likes things for what they are anymore. Everybody wants to know the story behind something, and they wanna know the meta of something. They want to know like the actor's real life, not the actor's movies that he's in and the movies that he's in. They want to know about him. They want to see the behind the scenes of everything, and I think it's just so true. Like no one really cares about the thing itself. Everybody wants to know the story surrounding everything all the time, which to me is like kind of sad because it takes away from the art. I think that's why podcasts are popular, ironically, is because everybody wants to know the person behind the art rather than the actual thing that they do.
I agree with that take. It's a good take.
It was, but it's so like wild when you really think about it, because it kind of ruins I think it's ruined a lot of art, because people aren't as passionate about the art itself anymore. I really don't think they are. And I think the only way you fix that is just making good art and just being really good at making good art and keeping on doing it. But it's a sad problem to have. I think also social media has a big role to play, because people have dumbed themselves down just scrolling and looking at basically nothing.
Exactly. And the thing too is, and back to the actors, a lot of great artists, especially like people like actors, I just showing them one time, what makes them so great is that they are kind of basic and blank canvases.
You have to be as an actor.
Yeah, you do.
If you want to be a good actor.
You do. So you can be molded in the way that the director sees the final product. And that way, that is kind of a cool talent to be able to be like, whatever you need me to be, I can become.
Yeah.
But if you ever hung out with an actor, especially a good one, holy shit, it's like fucking talking to fucking two cold bricks. Like, I bang your head against the walls. Like, Jesus Christ, do you have any personality? And it sucks because, like, these are the people that everybody wants to get to know. Now, I'll say this. I've seen a lot of good actors do podcasts. They can turn it on for the cameras, but I know them niggas. There's nothing there.
Yeah. They're acting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because... So I would explain the name Ruse as, I think everything is a ruse in a sense. And I really think this. Like, I think it's a more enlightened way to view life. If you look at everything as like role playing and nothing is as it seems. And that's really what you're doing at all times, is we're always filling a role, and it's how effectively you can do that. And it's you convince yourself of things, and that's why stories are so important, and that's why like something like professional wrestling can exist, is like, or movies can exist, is I can watch something and know it's not real, but still believe everything I'm shown because I want to believe it. And that's like the way that we form our thesis on reality, is that we just convince ourselves that all this stuff's real, and we convince ourselves of different realities all the time. And understanding that is, I think, a smarter way to look at things. And so I think actors are doing that on this weird different level, where they like are kind of hyper conscious of it, and they're really good liars in a sense. They're just really good. I think to be a good actor, you kind of have to be able to fool your own brain. You'd have to be able to actually kind of believe you're in whatever scenario this is, and that you are just coming up with these sentences and saying these things, even though you know you're not. Even though you know you're not, you have to believe that you are. So you do lie to yourself to be a good actor. Yes. And that is a crazy person. There's no way that's not a crazy person. Yeah. In any other scenario, that's a nuts. Yeah. That's a crazy thing to do. You don't want to be around that guy.
That we give too much respect for, and they'll never be as dope as comedians.
But I mean, actors, comedians. Well, there is a weird blend though that happens, right? Like a lot of comics seem to want to be actors.
Oh yeah.
So there is like, and like you said before, like building suspense and releasing it. I mean, there's got to be something there where there's this strange connection, the connective tissue. Yeah. I mean, I think, and also just I think that like somebody like a Robin Williams, somebody like that, it's so interesting because he's even being comedic in his dramatic roles, but he's just there's so much depth to him that it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. But he's always got that touch. Like he's never not being Robin Williams. And so that's really impressive to me, somebody like him. But like even just like great SNL movies from back in the day, where it was like Beverly Hills Ninja, like that's a great one, where it's just like Chris Farley. That's Chris Farley, and like it's just a great Chris Farley movie.
I actually I thought you were gonna say Beverly Hills Cops,
because I think Beverly Hills Ninja was the skit that they did on SNL, then they made the movie. Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen that skit. That is a very funny skit. Yeah, I was say I didn't know it was a movie.
Yeah, they made a whole ass movie.
Fuck, I didn't even know. I'm behind.
But I mean, like, it's just Chris Farley being Chris Farley. So it's interesting to see actors kind of have their own comedy careers stemming from stand-up. Like Jim Carrey's another crazy one, where it all starts with stand-up and him just trying to be funny on stage. But he was just so physical. He ends up in all these movies doing the same exact thing. And so talented, yeah. He's just such a creative guy. Yeah, so, but the crossover is a very interesting, and I don't know so much, I wish there was a revitalization of that, where you had more comics and like big name comics in successful movies, so that can be a thing again, because like there hasn't been a big comedy era in movies in a while.
In a long time.
And that would be really valuable for movies, for comedians, for everybody. Yeah. I mean, Theo Von and David Spade just filmed something and it hasn't come out yet, but like, let's hope to God it's good, because it could just as easily be bad and flop, and it's just gonna...
And knowing this generation, did you see I saw they made a new Naked Gun, and that was good.
That's what I heard. I didn't see it, but I heard that. I heard it was like in the same exact world as all the previous movies. Like they didn't try to change it and modernize it. It's the same exact tone.
And it was, and really in that concept, really well done. Best comedy movie I've seen in a while.
You really liked it? Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good would you say, if you had to rate it?
8. It's an 8. 7.5, 8. Yeah.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
For a modern comedy movie, that's great.
I agree. Yeah.
Those are flying colors.
Yeah, I agree. It's just objectively, it was a good movie, and it's funny the whole time. And not to give too much away, but like you said, they didn't try to make it not what it is, in the sense of like
Well, the new Vacation movie, that's what they did. And that was about like 10, 15 years ago now. But they tried to make a new modern National Lampoon
and didn't hit.
Vacation movie. Just wasn't the same thing. It was like a modern comedy wearing the skin of a Vacation National Lampoon movie. When it's so obvious. Like, it's like I said, with these video game movies, it's all the same thing. It's like you're just selling me one thing and like calling it something else, and I'm supposed to think that's okay. Like, make the movie that everybody wants to see. Yeah. But they try to trick you into going and seeing this other movie. I don't get the Avatar movies now. I was kind of like, I remember when Avatar 1 came out, and it was like crazy, because you heard he was going to do 6 movies over the next like 15 years, and it almost sounded unbelievable. And then I remember when Avatar 2 came out, and I had that experience I told you about earlier, when I was falling asleep during the movie. And I was like, what is going on here? I thought Avatar 2 was going to be crazy, and I didn't really like it. And then Avatar 3... Now I don't believe it's going to be that good, because Avatar 2 is kind of a letdown. And I think like it's weird, because James Cameron used to be awesome. Like, he made fucking Terminator. So I don't know. I'm just kind of confused, because the movies look cool, but just like the story is just whatever. It doesn't matter.
I mean, the problem is it's just too much about the bottom line. I mean, James Cameron, I wouldn't say this about him, but they're not trying to make art anymore.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. They're trying to make spectacle. Yeah. And there's a book, I think I've got it right here. Yeah, Writing Screenplays That Sell. And it's a book from like the early 80s, I want to say. And he's talking about like Karate Kid. And it's interesting just because he's talking about you need to like find a way to write scripts that they're going to want to buy. And like a lot of the time these people are getting hired to write scripts, not writing scripts and sending them to a studio and getting their script made into a movie. That's like 5% of what happens. It's always like screenwriters who can just write the type of script you need. And so, and again, this is way back then. It's only all of these financial things that were going on then have gotten 10 times worse. But like the thesis at the end of the book, he's saying like, you have to write something between thinking and feeling, where it's like if you make it too visceral, you're just making like porn or gore porn, or like just shock for shock value's sake. And if you're making something that's too cerebral, you just make something that nobody can even understand. So it's like finding something in the middle. And I think you could apply that type of thinking to anything. I think you really could. And I think the problem is the scales are tipped so far in that feeling direction with music, with movies. Like everybody's so into like the feeling of things that nothing is making you think anymore. Nothing is trying to. Like it's not even trying. And I think you dumb down an audience over time to the point where they don't even realize that's what they're looking at.
Exactly.
I really do think older movies are just better. It's almost hard to argue otherwise. There are still good movies now, but if you can look 20 years ago and just look at what came out,
it's not even close.
It's not even close. And I just think our standards are so much lower. It's kind of hard to pinpoint when it happened, but I think it's kind of engineered by these studios, and it's engineered by Hollywood. I think audiences are just as smart we've been tricked into having our standards lowered because these people sold us this lie that you actually like this stuff, and we just seem to have accepted it. Well, and I think it's just everywhere. It's all over the place.
Hollywood is taking a little bit of. They're not making the same money they used to.
Yeah, and they're struggling, and they're trying to figure out what to do too. It's kind of like watching an animal like flail around on the ground. I feel like watching Hollywood react to all these things, because now you see like actors going on podcasts. Like that's a sign that Hollywood's trying to figure things out.
Oh, like what do you mean? Like
just because they would never have done that before, never. And their PR agents are finally like, listen, you know, this PR tour requires 10 podcasts. The people want to know you, and that like. There used to be, you could be mysterious.
That was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing. And like, we're finally at a point where actors are like trying to integrate into the real world. They can't be mysterious
I never thought about that. That's a good point.
And it's going to be really weird to see how that goes. Do you have a time limit or anything like that?
Yes, I do.
What's your time limit? How much time you got?
I got about like 10, 15 more minutes.
All right, I'm going to fill up my coffee cup real quick. While I've still got you, you asked me earlier that wonderful question. So I should ask you, do you think podcasting has made you a better person? Do you think that that's changed your perspective at all? You asked that about me.
This is a good question. Has podcasting made me, I don't think in podcasting in itself has made me a better person. It's made me a better producer. It's made me a better comedian. I think working with people in different capacities has made me a better person. I think podcasting... No, I wouldn't say podcasting made me a better person. I think comedy's made me a better person. If I could take it that angle. Like,
you can take it any angle you want.
Yeah, good. I think
I did the same thing with. I think it's I pulled a weave, as the politicians would call it.
Same. That's what I'm like. No, but stand up and doing that and trying to do that at a high level and all the things I've had to grow. I had to grow at. Learn a little bit, learn to talk to people, see things from other perspectives.
And any skill like that teaches you a lesson, I think.
Yes.
Like learning a particular skill and zeroing in on it 100%. Because it extends out into so many things you wouldn't have even expected.
I agree. And it's like one thing I like about stand up, especially when you get to do it at a higher level. And I haven't done it at that high of a level, but I'm a comedian for sure, and I travel a lot because of it. It's like going, like one thing is like a lot of people say, but it's true, like being around other people that maybe not see the way you see life. It's talking like politics wise and all that stuff. And like, but you like when you have to be around these people, it does make you have empathy for them and also still see them as human beings. And I've never been a guy who doesn't, but sometimes you get in your little, you know, I live in Chicago. I'm a progressive guy. You can get in your little your echo center dot, whatever I'm trying to say.
Echo chamber.
Thank you. And you can almost,
and I think being in a city especially, you know, like being from someone who's not from such an urban area, like, so it's just so different. And I think people who live in a city forever have no idea what that is. Like, they just don't realize you're just surrounded by people saying all the same things. And it's not quite like that.
We all think we're right. Well, everybody beats their chest about being on the right side of history. And don't get me wrong, I beat my chest about being on the right side of history. But at the same time, nobody wants to be on the wrong side of history. Nobody's like, you know what, I like the fact that I'm going to look bad in a couple years. Usually it's because they think they're right too.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they are right. Here's nothing. Maybe they are right too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I realized about, like I said, I'm not as religious in the traditional sense as I used to be. Still a spiritual guy. Still believe in the higher power. Just not, I don't believe, what comes with the rules I have to follow, I think that's bullshit. But the one thing I also have to admit is like, I think they're wrong. But at the same time,
I think who's wrong?
The traditional religion, the church,
I see
that kind of stuff. But I'm also man enough and wise enough to say I can still be wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and say my whole chest that these people are completely wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe they're missing something, but maybe the truth is the thing that matters.
Well, I think it's practicing humility.
Yeah.
Right? Like knowing you could be wrong and that the truth is the more important thing. Like that's why I would never say I'm smart. Like if you asked me earlier, I'm going to call myself a genius. Like I would say I'm the best.
You hesitated though. Yeah. Like, well, you know, who's asking?
One of the things things is, I always say I'm the greatest rapper of all time, and I think I have to legitimately believe that to be successful. I have to think I'm the best. I think that's kind of like part of my thing. I think you have to do that. I think it's like the people who really are the best believe they're the best, and they really believe it. And even if you're not the best, I think you kind of, I don't know, I just, maybe there's a, like, it's just something in me. I want to be one of one. I want to be unique, and so I will say I'm the greatest. So in a sense, I'm a genius, but like I think being a genius is being kind of having humility and being stupid and understanding that you're not that smart. Like the smartest people. Well, I think for one, intelligence can be measured in different ways. So it's like what you call intelligence might not be what I call intelligence, and maybe somebody being really book smart is that's what intelligence is to you.
Exactly.
You think somebody being able to memorize a bunch of information and say all these words is intelligent. But there's also emotional intelligence. There's all kinds of it. There's athletic intelligence. There's ways people can be gifted that's totally different than the way you're gifted. And I think that's one thing that just people in general have taught me is that the more and more people I talk to, the more and more I realize like everybody has that potential in them, and even if they might not look smart from the outside looking at whatever you think a smart person is, you just don't know. You can't know anything about anybody, even yourself in a way. And so like I just think it's, and often I think like the people who are really book smart tend to not be very like street smart or emotionally smart because they have the wrong idea. And so to me, I would hesitate with that type of question because I like to think I'm smart. I like to think I know what I'm doing, but I also think that like saying that and saying I'm smart is kind of counterintuitive because you should be open to everything, to learn. That's how you learn. You should always be able to think, well, maybe I don't know something. Maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I'm missing something, because that is how you learn and get smarter, is by knowing you just don't know all kinds of things. And I think, like, again, it's like knowing that you could be wrong. It's like what I said earlier about having flaws. Like if you know you've been wrong before, how would you not be, how could you know you're not wrong now?
Well, self-awareness. And the one thing to the podcasting too is it's taught me to learn to play my angles. And that's one thing I've not always been great at. I've always known I'm funny. I've always known I'm charismatic. So in that regard, I do play the angle. But
what do you mean when you say play your angles?
Like knowing what makes you different, knowing what makes you stand out, knowing what makes you great, and more importantly, kind of accepting your flaws as much as like your talents. Like I'm like, one thing you can't tell me is you can't tell me I'm not a funny guy to be around, a cool guy to hang with.
Yeah.
But so it's confidence in that. But real confidence is also like, you know, these are the things I need to work on, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Those saying is the things, everything that you're not is what made you are, who you are. So, like, the cool thing about doing podcasts, like, I don't consider myself the smartest guy. I think I've got smarter. I've worked on it for sure. I don't think I'm the best speaker. I think I've got better. I've worked on it for sure. And I don't think I'm I don't think I'm like this great podcaster, and I don't even podcast that much anymore. But like, the thing that made all the flaws that make me who I am, like, I grew up in the South. I grew up in the hood when I came to Chicago. I lived a lot of life. I have a lot of life experiences, but I wasn't the most book smart kid. Didn't do that well in school. You know what I'm saying? Very emotionally intelligent, but don't have a lot of money. Like all these things that I don't have is kind of what makes me who I am.
Yeah.
And doubling down on that, it's like oh, that's that guy. Like, but to be that guy, you also have to love the guy he's not. You know?
Right.
Because one thing, like I have a lot of friends who are like one of my best friends, lawyer, doesn't practice this much, but law school. Another one of my homies, like fucking two of my homies, law school. My other homie, very intelligent guy. My other homie, very smart guy. And then my comedian friends are all smart, but they're all also intelligent. So like, then a couple of my homies have money. Like I have all these homies who make me better, but they kind of spotlight my low points. No. You make me as a comedian and, you know, sex symbol, you know what I'm saying? you know that I highlight some of their low points. But
I'm glad you addressed that. I've been thinking that the whole time.
but I've had to learn to like kind of, and I say this earnestly, accept me for who I am, which was hard. It was hard, but it's made me grow. It's made me kind of like, all right, this guy's dope. And more importantly, it's also made me go, and the things I don't like of myself, I can work on it, and with time I'll get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like if you're looking at art the right way, that tends to be what happens. I think like, and it doesn't even have to be art. It could be any craft, I suppose, anything that you work at over time. It's just by learning the ins and outs and getting better at it, you learn that you can be a better version of yourself. It's kind of like working out will tell you that too. Yes. You slowly become a better version of yourself, and it feels good to know, oh, a week ago I couldn't do this and now I can. And eventually you become unrecognizable to that original version if you really work at something. But that's why you got to really try, you know. And I think everybody could use that, whatever it is. I think a lot of people who are lost in life, that tends to just be the answer. They probably just don't have a thing that they believe in, that they see themselves getting better at over time. And if you had that, you'd probably look at life differently, because it's just it makes you have to look at it that way.
That's the one thing that's so cool about working out. Working out's one of the few things you could do in real time. Watch yourself get better, and like
exactly, yeah.
Because you can watch yourself get stronger, and like even in like the times of like a week and a week and a half to 2 weeks. That's the crazy thing about comedy. You can't really watch yourself get better, but you do get better over time. That's the weird thing about podcasts. Podcasts is kind of like this too, because if you actually intentionally do it, you can watch yourself get better in real time. Because you're like, oh, I say too much. I stutter too much.
Yeah.
It takes me personally. It takes me like I ramp up to my sentences a lot. Like I'm really cause I'm trying so hard to be articulate. So I'm like trying to. But I'm just trying to like nigga. If you mumble, you mumble. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. Let's get.
But
to
you
it.
do get better. Yeah. Whether you realize it or no.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like it's also funny because you don't notice it. So you'll like go back and watch an older one, and you'll be, why was I doing that? Oh God, what was I thinking? And you didn't even. I think I always like to say that that's good if you have that experience, because it means you've gotten better.
It means you've
but it's
grown.
a painful experience because again, like so much. I've made music for 13 years. I go back and look at my older music, and I remember it so fondly. And when I hear it, I'm like, oh, like I just have this whole other perspective, because I think now I'm very good, and I am. But I didn't even realize how I got to where I'm at now. Like 5 years ago, I wasn't as good as I am now. I thought I was, but I'm much better now. And so and it's going to keep happening.
And that's the beauty. And that's the beauty in that too. I feel that way about stand up. Like you can't tell me like the whole running trope is a lot of comics we start out bad, and a lot of people do start out bad.
Yeah. And rarely do you start good.
Yeah. Rarely. And I'll be honest with you, I think I started good. Now in hindsight, I rewatched my shit. I think I was good for the fact that I was 18 and 19 doing it.
Yeah.
But in the grand schemes, I wasn't good at all. And now I think I'm decent. It's funny. I watched comedy sets from a few years ago. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I thought I was good. So to your point, you always get better. And that's the cool thing about what we get to do. And I feel, in some ways, I feel like it's an honor. And I feel sad for other people. Is we have something that, it's hard to measure art. You can't really, and it's hard to measure it. But in some ways, at least with comedy, you can almost like objectively, like, okay, that's just maybe it's a funnier joke, but even if you don't think it's funnier, I delivered it better. My punchline, my time is better. Rapping, I feel like it would be similar. Like, okay, maybe I can't like objectively say this is a better rap, but my cadence is better, my flow's better.
Yeah, exactly. The elements that weave it together and the craftsmanship to it, you can notice those things. And I've heard people say like art is like a time capsule, and that's one thing that's so cool about it too. Yep. You can see a previous version of yourself like right there in a raw form, like you were trying your best to make the thing, and you captured a version of yourself by doing that. And you don't even, that's the thing you don't realize you're doing when you're doing, is you don't know where you're at in your life until you look back at it later. And so there's so much of that's weird too. It's like I can see me from 2016 if I go and listen to those songs, like, oh, I remember where I was and what I was thinking and how I was. And so there's all kinds of things that are like, and I think that's really good for you. That's a really good thing to have, like a previous version of yourself that you can go, and because you can see so many different things in you that you never even saw before, and that changes your perspective. And I think you shouldn't be so connected with whatever you are now. You shouldn't think that this is a permanent you and this is you forever, because you never are. You're always changing all the time. So.
You're always growing. Well, if you're lucky enough.
If you're lucky. Because I think when you become stagnant, that's when you really go crazy. Is when you start to accept stagnance and not changing and doing the same thing. Like I think that's why vacation for me is such a therapeutic experience. Whenever I go to it, it could just be visiting Michigan where I'm from. It could be as simple as that. But like getting different surroundings for a few days. I think that's true to life. Like you're supposed to experience different things. You can't just lock yourself in the same place. And it just feels so much better to remind yourself there is a world outside of your little world that you have. And that is one thing living in a city will remind you of when you see all seas of people. I think it reminds you how small you really are in this grander scheme of things. And I think you always got to remind yourself, like, this is just one slice of you right now. And you're always going to be a different you. And then that's how you change. And that's how you hopefully change. Yeah. But again, like I told you before, the show's for 3 to 5 year olds. So at the very end, we have the message for the children. All right, the show's for kids. They've been listening to us talk about philosophy, about adult topics. I think we said some curse words. We said some bad words throughout. So I hope I don't be the reason that kids swear. But if I am, I did it because God said so. It's just the way it is. See, it's always funny. I look over there when I'm talking sometimes, and I always feel like people think there's going to be a camera.
You've been looking at me the whole time. You stared that way for the first time. I'm like, oh, is a camera right there this whole time?
I've seen people do it a million times, and I just like I must have this tendency to sometimes look over here in this way that makes it look like I'm looking at a camera. It's just funny because you'll see people go like and what I think would be a funny bit is like, can you imagine if you watched a podcast back you were on and you just see there was like 30 cameras in the room that you didn't know about? Like there's one above you, there's one over here.
That would be actually really funny.
You'd be like, what? I just think that'd be like such a funny experience, and it's kind of like only funny to the guest because they're like, wait a minute, there's like a spy room all of a sudden. And also like you could do some wild angles. Like if you had spy cameras, like I always wonder like how discreet can a camera get? Could I just stick one in that corner and that corner and that corner? Probably.
I like that you have so many books. Well-read guy.
Yeah, I got a lot of books. I'm like halfway hoarder. I'm getting to hoarder. If I open those drawers, there's books in there too.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you read this much?
I feel like I'm preparing for a time I might not be able to get the books anymore. Like who knows? Maybe I'll miss this opportunity. But I need I read. I watch more movies than I read. Like I'm not much. I need to read more. I like reading a lot, but my answer is like kind of. That's my answer. Like I read probably 10 books a year, and that to me is bad. Like I should be trying to read a book a week. Like that's what I should.
Book a week is a little intense. But
something like that though. I feel like if I want to get the most out of books, that's what I should be doing. I should be pacing myself properly. But I'll just read like 10 pages of a book every couple of days or something, to be honest.
That's what I'm trying. I used to read a lot, and I've definitely took my foot off the gas. It's my goal to start back reading more.
So maybe that's our message for the kids at the very end.
Reading
read
is really
more.
good.
Reading is really good for you. Because I think we all could read more. I think like reading people, the internet has taught you that there's information everywhere. You can just Google it. What I think the problem is you're holding Pandora's box, and there's everything inside of this thing. And with a book, it's like a stream of consciousness that you can experience for yourself. I don't even like audiobooks because I don't think I absorb the information the same way as if I'm reading, you know? It's as if someone's talking to me and they're telling me things. Whereas if I'm reading, it's like in my head. I have to process it. I'm hearing it in my head. So I think like reading is essential. Yeah.
I think so too.
And like audiobooks are not the same. I don't care who tells me they're the same. It doesn't work.
Kids, don't cheat.
It's just not the same. Like even if I was talking to the person, if it was a conversation, I'd remember better. But it's like I'll just start to not listen if it's an audiobook. Eventually, my brain just starts to tone it out. I just absorb the information subconsciously, but it's not getting in. You know.
Yeah, audiobooks feel like cheating. But this is my message to the kids.
All right, a real one.
Oh no, it was not feel bad because it was not going to be real.
It was going to be. Don't worry, I want to know what you were going to say. The kids got to hear it. The kids got to hear. Don't you change your message last second because of me.
No, I was just going to say, do everything to the fullest. Love yourself. Never cut corners. Don't cheat on your wife. But you can't cheat on your girlfriend.
No half measures, as Mike Ehrmantraut would say.
Yeah, exactly.
You see Breaking Bad? It's a Breaking Bad reference.
I thought it was, but no, I've seen enough. I know about it. I actually never seen Breaking Bad, but I knew that's what it was. I just wasn't 100% sure.
There's a great scene where he's like saying like he used to be a cop and there was this guy who was abusing his wife and he took him out and he was a beat up cop, and it's just such a great scene because he's explaining his philosophy and why he'll never take a half measure again, because he went and took this guy out and put a gun to his head and said, like, he scared him and he thought he scared him out of beating his wife ever again, and then the next time he responded to the call, the wife was dead, and he took a half measure when he should have gone all the way. He should have killed the guy. So that's the point, kids. Don't cheat on your wife. But if you are going to cheat on your wife, don't take it halfway, go all the way. Make sure to cover all your bases.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be DNA evidence somehow. You got to think about every single possible scenario.
Yes.
And that's why you don't cheat on your wife, because odds are this is how murderers get caught. You're always going to miss something. Have you not learned anything from IDTV? You're always going to forget one detail. And in retrospect, you'll be like, how did I forget? Oh, I left my shoe at the scene of the crime.
How did I forget to clean up the semen? God damn it.
Yeah, it's like, it's so funny because you watch those documentaries, it's like, oh, that seems so obvious. But I just know if you ever tried to like kill somebody, you might think you're going to get away with it. There's no way. It's always going to be something stupid. You ever try to rob a bank? It's always going to be like you're the only guy that's 5'4" in this entire area, and that's how they know it was you. Like, it's going to be something like that. It's a random detail you did not expect to come back to get you.
Shout out to my short king bank robbers. They don't get enough credit out here.
You know what? You shouldn't rob a bank if you're too short. That's actually true. You're too distinguishable. You gotta be average height. You gotta be average height to rob a bank. You can't be too tall either, to be honest. You don't want to be...
Can't be LeBron James.
LeBron James could never rob a bank. No professional sports player can go out robbing banks.
Exactly.
It's kind of just over for them.
Which is how I know I'm better.
Yeah.
I rob a bank pretty easily.
Yeah. No half measures. If you're going to rob a bank, make sure you check your height first. Yes. Make sure you think about the fact that if you were on a lineup of 8 other guys that all look kind of like you, are you too distinguishable to be told apart? Like, are you just too much? Because I think if you could even be too handsome to rob a bank. I mean, honestly, if your eyes are too dashing, like, oh, I would never forget those eyes. You can't have that either. Yeah. You kind of have to be really average to commit crimes, I feel like. So that's some good advice for children, too. Exactly. If you look average enough, you'll get away with it. Exactly. But if you're at all unique, just consider something better. Just
if you're a handsome, dark-skinned devil like myself, you just gotta...
If you're a sex symbol like this guy. And then, social medias, too. You got to tell them where they can find you. This comes out like mid-February, something like that. So just tell them if you got any dates after mid-February, or if you want them to find you on the internet. They spent all this time with you. They might spend some more. The social medias... Floor is yours.
I'm Life of St. James on everything. Life of St. James, STJAMES. I have shows all the time, and I will post them on my website, and I will post them on social media. So that's how you find me.
Boom. Amazing. I feel like we've done amazing things here today on the show known as... Here we go. Radio. Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance.